Well, it's time.
It's time.
It's March, and we hear the wind blowing. Sometimes it whistles a tune, and it tells us that cold weather's going, and spring will be here very soon. Isn't that fun? I love that song. Let's sing it. 1, 2, 3, go. It's March, and we hear the wind blowing. Sometimes it whistles a tune. You whistle a tune. It tells us that cold weather's going, and spring will be here very soon. That's a really good song. I like that. And then let's see, I was trying to think if is another song that, oh yeah, oh listen, we got a story about Little Bear, the kite.
Oh,
Let's do the kite song.
Let's do the kite song.
Yeah, that's fun. All right, let me put the outer heart down here, and we'll put the story there, and we'll go. You ready? Here we go. Once a little kite, put it down on the floor, got caught up in the breeze. It blew up past the bushes, and it blew up past the trees, and it blew up in the sky, high above the ground. But what happened when the wind stopped? Then the kite came down. I love that song. Isn't that cute?
It is cute.
Yeah, that's a fun song to teach you about music.
That's
you know,
right.
music moves up and down and all around. If you know music just never did move, the tune of it. Once a little kite got caught up in the breeze, it blew up with the bush. That wouldn't be any fun.
It wouldn't.
But see, that's you're just telling. Once a little kite got caught up in the breeze, and it blew up past the bushes. It blew up past the trees. It blew up in the cold sky, high above the ground. Y'all say, what happened when the wind stopped?
What happened when the wind stopped?
Then the kite came down. That's the fun thing. That teaches you about music going up and down. We got the cutest story in the world. It's one of my favorite stories about Little Bear and the kite.
Oh.
And I just love it because Little Bear's real shy. He's so darling. You know, have you ever been invited to a party or invited somewhere? Even when you're grown up, you're invited to things you're a little bit shy about going because you don't know anybody there. And you go in and maybe everybody's busy laughing and talking and you know stuff. You know, you don't know anybody and you feel like going like that.
Right.
And when you're little kids feel that way really when they have to go to a party or something. That's the way Little Bear felt too.
Oh.
So we're going to see. Let's see. What can we do? Let's do. My thumbs are starting to wiggle. My thumbs are starting to wiggle. Thumbs are starting to wiggle round and round and round. My hands are starting to wiggle. My hands are starting to wiggle. Hands are starting to wiggle round and around and around. My arms are starting to wiggle. My arms are starting to wiggle. Arms are starting to wiggle up and down and down. And now I am wiggling. I am just a wiggling. I am just a wiggling. And now I'm wiggle down. That'll make you sit still. Okay, you ready? Once upon a time, way down in the forest where all of the forest animals lived, there lived a little bear, and he was so darn cute. And everybody called him Little Bear because he was just a little bear.
Little Bear.
And Little Bear was very, very shy. And he was very sweet. And he was even shy to the other animals in the forest. He said, hey, everybody. And sometimes he took his little head, put on his little nose or his little ear like that because he was shy. Now, one day, Little Bear went down to the mailbox. And he looked in there, and sure enough, there was a letter. And when he opened it up, it was an invitation to a party.
Oh.
And it said, Dear Little Bear, please come to the party. We are going to have ice cream and cake.
Oh, yummy.
Grandfather Elephant. Now, he was scared to death of Grandfather Elephant because Grandfather Elephant was big and he made a lot of noise. You know, he was just couldn't help. He was just real big. He said, "Oh, Little Bear!" Scared Little Bear near like to death. His ears were flat. And Little Bear, he said, I don't think I'm gonna go. I've got a bone in my leg. Better hope everybody's got a bone in their leg. Got a bone in it. And the other animal said, "Oh, Little Bear." And Little Bear's mother said, Little Bear. He said, I might be sick that day, and I can't go. His mother said, Little Bear, you're not going to be sick. They're going to have cake. It's going to have chocolate icing on it. It's going to be ice cream with strawberry ice cream. See, well, I might go if I feel good that day. So he's working up to going, and so sure enough, on the day of the party, his mother brushed his fur real good and cleaned his claws, and he brushed his little bare teeth, and he got all ready, and he went to the party. But He was kind of hanging back. See, you can see him now. Look, here's Jasper Giraffe. Jasper Giraffe. Okay? Jasper Giraffe said, "Hey, little bear, come on. We're going to have the best time. We're going to fly a kite." Little bear had never flown a kite before.
Uh-oh.
He had seen one up in the sky, but he didn't know how they got up there, and he didn't know how to fly one. And Jasper Giraffe said, "Maybe you can help me." The little bear said, I have a sore foot. I can't run today." See, he's making up excuses because he can't do anything. And he's afraid he can't do something. Well, Jasper Giraffe said, "Come on, we're going to go see Grandfather Elephant." You see, Grandfather Elephant was having a party. And Little Bear was scared to death of him. See, here's Grandfather Elephant's just a great big old elephant. He's the best thing. He's sitting in his big old chair and he's got an E for elephant on it. See, Little Bear's scared of him. He's hiding running back over. See, hey, Grandfather Elephant. And he remembered to thank him for inviting him to the party. He said, "Thank you for inviting me to the party." Grandfather Elephant said, "Cover up your ears now." "Hello there, Little Bear." I mean, that would scare me
That
too.
would, yeah.
"Come on here, boy. We're going to fly a kite. I'm going to let you help us." Little Bear was just terrified. He said, and finally he just told the truth. He said, "I don't know how." It was pretty good.
That
Grandfather
was.
Elephant said, "Nah, there's nothing to it, boy. Come on, we're going to show you how." Little Bear said, He said, "I don't know how. My arm hurts." "Ah, quit that making excuses. Come on here, Bear. Jasper, give him that big yellow kite over there." Little Bear never had been that close up to a kite. "Hold on to it now, Little Bear, and don't let your claws tear a hole in the paper." Little Bear said, "What you want me to do?" Grandfather Elephant said, "I want you to get out yonder in that field, away from the trees now. You got to keep your kite away from trees and wires and things like that you'll get caught on. And all you have to do is just hold it. And when Doris, the deer, starts running, she's fastest runner. You let go of it when we holler, let go. You got that?" He was about to come out of his little bear chest. He was so scared of Grandfather Elephant, scared he was going to do something wrong. But Grandfather Elephant wouldn't hurt him. He's so sweet. So Doris the deer tied the string to the kite on her antlers. She could really run fast. Deer can go lickety-split. And then she said, "One for the money and two for the show." And they all said, "Get ready, Doris, and here, go, go, go." And she took off, and Grandfather Elephant hollered, "Let go, Little Bear, let go of the kite, Little Bear." Little Bear let go of it all. We were so scared, but he let go just as Doris put on the string, and the thing started to, his astonishment, it started going up. Up, look at that, up, there it goes up. And Little Bear was looking, lady, he thought his neck was gonna fall. Look at it, went way up past the bushes, just like in that song. Once a little kite got caught up in the breeze, blew up past the bushes, blew up past the tree, blew up in the cold sky, high above the ground. And don't you know, look at now, there's Doris. See, Doris had the string tied onto her antlers. And here's Hilda the hippopotamus and Jasper Giraffe. And see, they're all just looking and looking. And they're saying, "Woohoo!" Everybody go, "Woohoo! Woohoo! Woo! Look at it." And all of a sudden, the wind gave a mighty puff. And the string broke.
Aww.
Now, look, that's what everybody's saying. Let's all say, "Oh," at one time. 1, 2, 3.
Aww.
"Oh!" And the kite came tumbling. Can y'all do that? Tumbling. Came down and landed in the tree.
Uh-oh.
Now, Jasper Giraffe can't climb the tree. And we hope that Grandfather Elephant's not going to climb one. And Fred the Fox can't climb the tree. He can run, hide, and do everything, but he can't climb the tree. Hilda the hippopotamus couldn't climb the tree. And Zelda the zebra couldn't. And so then the party was finished. There was the kite up in the tree. Grandfather said, "Is it tear up? Did the paper tear on it?" And Jasper said, "No, sir, no, it's just lodged up there in that tree, but how are we going to get it?" Grandfather said, "Well, get out the way, everybody, and let me wrap my trunk around that tree trunk." And now he's strong, but he can't shake a tree trunk. So here he went over there. See, he wrapped his trunk around there, and he tried to shake it, and well, he was trying his best, but he couldn't do that. An elephant can't shake a big old tree.
Not a big tree.
Not like that. It goes, the roots go way down in the ground. That thing is strong. And everybody said, "Well, we may as well go home. The party's ruined then," because it was a kite flying party. And Little Bear thought to himself, "Well, I wonder why they all so already. Now see, he wasn't being smart. It's just what he knew in his little life. He had been raised in a tree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he played he played tag around the tree trunk, everything with his mom and his papa. See, so he wasn't scared of a tree. He'd go way up in the top of his mama. Never said be careful or nothing. She just let him go.
Right.
And all of a sudden he thought, well, I don't believe any of them's gonna try to climb that tree. I guess if Hilda Papa's by the tree, she'd fall out and she'd probably knock a big hole in the ground. And I know Grandfather Elephant could. And I know Jasper Giraffe, he might get his neck caught up in there in the tree in a limb, that'd be bad. But I could go up there. So he went over there, and so he said, well, look, everybody, I'll go get it. And they said, you're just a little old bear. You're almost too shy to come to the party, Grandfather said. Oh, no, boy, you can't go. You fall out of that tree and bust yourself. Little bear said, no. They said, my mom taught me and my papa taught me to try. I can look, I can see these claws. I could just go up that tree, lickety split. Watch me. And he started doing it. Come back, little bear. Let's holler. Come back down, little bear. He said, I'll be all right. Don't worry about me, because I've got strong claws. Look at him going up that tree. That's not the cutest thing. He hollered down and he said, all right, everybody, I'm getting close to it. He was just holding on with one paw. Hold on with both paws, little bear. See, his little claws was looking there. He was a good tree climber. He was trying to see up through the leaves. He said, am I getting close to it? They said, over to the right, little bear. Little bear climbing over a little bit more, and all of a sudden, up through the bush, he came out through a clump of leaves, and he could see it. He said, there it is. And it was fine. It wasn't torn or anything. It was made out of good, strong paper. And Grandfather Elf said, don't tear it, little bear. If you tear a hole in it, it's not going to be no good. We're not going to be able to fly. Little bear said, I'm not going to tire it. I'll be very careful. And he reached up there and kind of worked on it to get the string untied. He was tying it up in the limbs and the leaves, and he got it all untied. And he said, okay, here I come. And he leaned way out. And, hold on, little bear, you're going to fall. No, I'm just going to let the kite go, and he let go of him. And down it came peacefully and landed in the pretty green grass and the pretty white clover. And everybody cheered. Y'all, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Little bear came down, and everybody came running, and they were so tickled. And Grandfather Elvis said, I think right now we got to stop and have ice cream and cake, and then if it don't get too dark, we'll fly the kite again. And Little Bear is the hero, and he gets the first piece of cake and the biggest dish of ice cream. And Little Bear got served first because he was the hero. And Little Bear said, oh. And everybody cried down because he saved the party. And I thought that was so good. See, there's Miss Hilda. She's just a running. She's kind of in charge of serving everything. Look at that big old cake.
I see that big cake.
Miss Laura, you're a good cake maker. I bet you made a cake like that before, have you?
Well, I did before one time, long time ago.
Ooh, was that a good story?
That
and
was a good
they
story.
all did when they got through eating the cake and the ice cream. They all said, excuse me. And Little Bear remembered to say thank you very much, and he was very nice. They said, you want some more, Little Bear? And he said, no, ma'am, I've had a plenty. See, he was not picky. And so they all got through eating, and then they kind of sat down and rested because they were all just good and wonderful. And then Grandfather Elvis said, all right, we got time to fly the kite one more time, for it's time for us to all go home to eat supper. Eat supper. I don't see how they could eat supper. Look like they bust
Too
wide open.
full.
I know it. And they all began to run, and they flew that kite again, and they had such a wonderful time. And then Grandfather Elvis said, all right, everybody, it's time to go home. We've done had the kite flying party for March. And they all went home, and it was a wonderful night, and they all slept, and that is
The end.
That was a good story. That's what Schoolmouse's favorite story.
I like that story.
The bear was so dark. Well, I guess we have to say goodbye. What you think?
I think so.
We had a fine time. We're so glad y'all came to Story Hour.
I
We
know.
just love y'all. Did y'all know we love y'all? We do.
Oh, I see Molly. I see Molly.
Hey, Molly Dolly
Hey. And Jeff.
and Jeff. Well,